babes. But anyway, message me later.
All right, will do. Get well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, Donna.
Hey, how are you guys?
I'm doing better. I actually sound normal.
Yeah, you do.
I know. It's crazy. I've got already taken 2 antibiotics today, so I think it's a sinus thing.
Well, bless your heart.
Bless
Okay,
your
I'm
heart.
going to be doing my thing here. You guys keep chit-chatting while I get people. Um,
If you want to make me an admin, I can kind of pin people and mute.
okay, I will do that.
Donna, do you know how long the video is tonight?
It's 20 minutes.
Okay. I would love to start these girls on something that they could report on next week.
That they could what?
Report on next week that would get them in the groove for back to the basics. So
Not
if you,
not all of the people that are getting on here, Judy, will be part of our March Madness
oh,
group, though.
okay.
That might.
I'm going to talk about that during announcements tonight. We'll talk about next week a little bit.
That sounds good.
So, and Judy, have you gotten the app? So do you know what I'm talking about with that for the March Madness?
Is it not the same as this one?
Well, it's not the same. It looks the same kind of, but it's not the same. You need a different one for that because the links go to a different place. Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Waiting for some more directors to come on so I can get them pinned up here. Hi, Diane.
Hi.
Hey, Linda.
Hi.
Did you get
Whew.
your grandbabies home?
Well, I was at their house
Oh, okay.
and there's a lot of mud around, and I just have turned back into my directorness after scrubbing mud with a toothbrush off the bottom of their shoes.
Well, doesn't it just bring you back to, 30 some years ago or so, 40 years ago?
40s, in the 40s. It was very real.
Hey, Donna, while we're waiting, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, please feel free to
Okay.
chit chat. Yes.
Will the videos be available for a little bit longer after this has ended?
Yes.
Oh,
And that's one of the reasons why I made a new app for March Madness, so
okay,
that wouldn't erase anything for this. So, yes, it will be
perfect.
available.
There's just a couple I want to go back and take
Yeah,
some
I
more
don't
notes
even
on.
know who's talking. Oh, Jenny. Jenny.
Jenny, it's me. I'm sorry.
Oh, who?
It's Jenny.
Okay, yes. I didn't see the green at first. Hey, Debbie, how are you?
Good. How are you ladies?
We're gonna miss you and Diane.
Yeah, we thank you so much for including us in this. My unit members have loved participating.
Well,
It's been
good.
fun.
And it's been nice getting to know you. Okay, I can't, let me see my time. I want to. Okay, we got one more minute to wait. Making sure I get everybody here. Oh, Jessica. Hey, Jessica.
I don't think my name's on this one.
Pardon? Okay. Give it just about 30 seconds more.
Great job to everybody who is here for the last one. Woohoo!
Yes. Okay. All right, it's 7:01. We're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody to our last one. Can you believe it? We've been together for 7 weeks already.
Wow.
I just think time has flown. So I want you to raise your hand if you've loved this as much as I've loved it. Have you enjoyed? All right. That is so exciting. Now, I want you to know that 81 people registered in January. And I think the first night we had 46 that were on. And then I know it kind of dwindled a little bit. Last week we had 26 on. Right now it says we have 25 on. So what that tells me is that those of you who are on tonight and those that have made it almost every week or they've watched the replay every week, they've been engaged, are the serious ones. You know, you made the decision, you made the effort, you put in the time, and you honored your commitment to be on these calls or listen to the replay if necessary, even if you had to watch you know, even if it didn't exactly work out. And you posted, we started out with not everyone posting points, but maybe it was at that point of just getting together with the group and getting back in the groove of something like this was what you could do to trail your own, to blaze your own trail here at the beginning. But we've got this going and we're going to continue being trailblazers in the month of March. Most of us, not every unit is going to participate in March, but if you are, I hope you've already registered for it. If you're not sure, I want you to ask your director after the call if you're doing March Madness or if you guys are doing something else. So I want everyone who's on here tonight to give yourselves a hand. Let's just clap for everybody for being you persevered through this, you posted points when you could, and you have started your year off with some action. And as you continue, you're going to be making some extra money. You're going to continue to blaze new trails. And we're just going to go into March Madness and really get serious about that. All right, let me talk to you a little bit about March Madness, just for those of you who are going to be a part of it. We're going to cover the basics of the business. It's going to be booking, coaching, selling, and recruiting. Is that what we do in this business? Those are our main things. And we're going to go back to the basics. We're going to, you know, they say that a school is never out for the pro. So no matter how many times you've heard the basics of the business, you just want to hear it again. I still enjoy listening to new consultant training and I've been doing this for 47 years. So I know it's going to be a benefit to all of you, and we're going to hear from some different teachers, some I've not heard from before. Okay, our weeks for March Madness is going to go from Sunday to Saturday, just like it is on a calendar. We start the week on a Sunday and it goes to Saturday on the other end of the calendar week. That way we'll all be on the same page. Our week will start on Sunday, it'll end on Saturday, and then that means Sunday you can put your points into the form. Now the form is going to be this right here, okay? So you'll want to print off 5 of them, and it's on the March Madness app. You'll be able to print 5 of these out. It tells you how you can earn points. They're IPAs. They're the things that you need to do to have a successful business. So you want to strive to have, points in every category if at all possible. If you don't get the March Madness app downloaded to your phone, and it's going to be the little MK icon, just like the Boss Babe one is. So you just have to click it. But this one will say underneath March Madness. But if you don't get it done, you can scan the QR code right here on this form, and you can go straight to it to get to where you submit your forms, get to the Zoom link. All those things are going to be on that. If you have any questions, be sure to ask your director about that. Okay. Did you all get an email this past week saying that you were being moved to the Emerald Division? Now, I'm not sure about Debbie. You might be in a different division, right, Debbie?
Yeah, we're going to be Diamond now.
Okay. Did you get moved?
Yes. Yeah, because
Okay.
we were
Well, they
Ruby.
reshuffled all of the, not everybody got reshuffled, but in all the years I've been in Mary Kay, I have always been Ruby, never got moved. Others got moved into Ruby, but we never got moved. And this is the first time that we're going to be moved. Now, the question has come up with some consultants, so they're really not sure about Emerald, Diamond, Ruby, what that all is. It doesn't mean you're losing your sales director. Doesn't mean that anything like that really affects your everyday Mary Kay business is changing. It just means they have grouped us into seminars. So not this summer, we'll go to the Ruby seminar, but the following year, we will go to the Emerald seminar for the first time. That's all it means. It's no big deal. Okay. All right. I just a couple of announcements. March 15th is the end of our third quarter of Star Consultant. Now, Star Consultant is like our report card in Mary Kay. So you want to go to InTouch and My Business and check to see where you are towards Star Consultant, because it will tell you how much more you need to do to be a Sapphire Star. And maybe you're already a Sapphire Star, how much you need to be a Ruby or on up the Star Consultant ladder. So don't forget, March 15th. You can make it happen. All right, we are at the end of February, and February is a short month, so Thursday is the last day of the month. That's the 28th. So if you're trying to get to A1 status again, active status, and trying to put a 225 wholesale order in just to be active, well, then you want to look to see how much you've ordered this month. Maybe you've had some CDS orders. They accumulate and find out how much more you need to be active at 225. Or maybe you are trying to reach the power up status. Now, Linda, she has, did you get it, Linda? I've ordered enough to get my little purple brush holder, but it hasn't come yet. But Linda's is here, and Jana showed hers last week. But I thought if you're trying to reach that level, the power up level, and get that little prize, you may enjoy doing that. That has to be in by the 28th. Okay, Linda's got it right there. Hold on.
It's big. It's pretty big. And I know Jana said she was using it to put like eye pencils and lipsticks in on her cabinet. So you can do many things with this, but it's great for putting your brushes in as well. And then you put a lid on them and you can travel and not get them messed up.
You could even use them on your table at a facial skincare class.
Definitely.
There's lots of ways you can use it. I think it's very pretty and very nice. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is career conference. Registration for career conference ends Thursday. And so if you're planning to go, you've got to be registered by then. I'm going to Kansas City with a few of my consultants. So if you're not sure about career conference, check with your director, find out which one's close, and if a group is going or whatever, check with your director. But registration ends on the 28th. All right. We had a tie for second place. So we don't have a first, second, and third. We have 2 second place winners and a first place winner. So the first one, well, I want Samantha Rodriguez to go ahead and unmute so she can tell us how her week went. Samantha did, as I was looking at her points, she had 430 points. And so she had either 6 to 12 new leads where she got names and numbers. It depends on whether they were out of, how the first week Linda Tupin said start working in new areas. So she may have gotten 6 leads in a new area, or maybe 12 in her area. She gave 2 new facials, and she did 3 interviews this week. So Samantha, are you there?
Hi, yes. How are you guys?
Hi, go ahead. Tell us about your week.
I just followed up. I booked a party which did cancel. Met up with 2 faces. They weren't profitable, but were with leads, referrals. So that just got me ready for this week to do more bookings. Um,
And you did 3 interviews. How did those
yes.
go?
Good, good. I did reflect, and I was speaking to my director and did a lot of reflecting, and I have to work on my closing. So
Okay. And you remember
Alrighty.
last week, our speaker was saying how she recorded things and then she went over them with her director. Judy Roman was my director when I was a brand new consultant. And one of the things I had to do was record my party and give it to her. That was a scary thing to do. And but it was so helpful. So and then last week she talked about always checking in with her director and telling her how things went with all of her activities. So you guys might think you're bothering us, but I would say every single director here would say, please call us. Please let us know how those facials went, how those parties went, and that sort of thing. So Samantha, congratulations. You ranked number 2, but you tied with Jenny. So Jenny Elkins was also number 2. So Jenny, would you go ahead and share your screen? Come on, please. She had 6 to 12 new leads also. Depends on whether 12, if they were in her area, 6, they might have been out of her area. 2 bookings, 1 party held last week in a new area, and she had 5 guests, I think, and 1 interview. So holding that party, doing the interview, getting the bookings, that's working full circle. So are you there, Jenny?
I am here.
All right, great. Tell us about it.
I got ties.
Well, it was a busy and exciting week. We of course had the snow, so that was, or was that the week before? That was last. Yeah, it was last week. I had to rethink everything, but I was out of town on Friday and Saturday, and I got to see family that I haven't seen in a long time, and many of them did not even know I was doing Mary Kay. They just kind of scrolled through. And so it was very exciting when I had cousins say, do you have a card or do you have this? And I'm like, well, of course. So, so I handed out business cards. I end up getting orders from a couple of them last night and things like that. So I was super, super excited about bringing in some family that I haven't seen. So, and again, we don't rely on family. So, but these are cousins, they count. So,
Absolutely, they count. Good for you.
so,
And
then,
Jenny, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, you're fine. And then, due to the snow, of course, we've rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled, I feel like, on some of this stuff. But I was able to do some online stuff and get one gal taken care of who was really just excited to be doing a facial. She wanted to be pampered, and so did her friends. So, you pivot no matter what, and that's what we learned through everything from COVID. But so being able to do things online with them and have them with me was just amazing, and to be able to follow up with them online and work that full circle. Linda, I'm doing it. So,
Yeah.
and so, yeah,
And
it's been an exciting week.
That's great. And one thing you said is they asked if you had cards, and you said, well, of course. How many of you have your business cards in your purse, able to be pulled out at a minute's notice? We've got to be prepared. And Jenny, obviously, this week was prepared and did a great job. So congratulations. Okay, now we are going to hear from our number one person. And again, it's Becky Osborne. This time she had 1,382 points. And so the total for the 7 weeks for Becky is 4,897 points. And that earns her a $50 gift card to Amazon. So woohoo!
Ooh,
All right,
cool.
so tell us about it. You had 30 to 60 new
Woo.
names and numbers. Where did you get those? You had 3 bookings, 2 faces this week, and 1 interview. So tell us about your week.
It was a good week. I did several virtuals, no, 2 virtuals, 2 in person, and a bridal show yesterday, and got tons of leads, and then a couple referrals from a previous bridal show. I was like, okay, I haven't heard from you. Is there anybody in your family who you would like to gift this to, friends or family? So I got a couple referrals that way. They didn't want to meet with me, but they gave me some referrals. And thank you, Jessica. And then I had to order because I sold like, we call them basic skincare sets, but a complete repair set. I did like 4 skincare sets. So yes. Woo-hoo. So it all, just like Jenny, just working full circle.
All right, congratulations. So she did end up as our number one accumulated points for all 7 weeks. So congratulations to Becky.
Thank
All
you.
right. Our speaker for tonight is NSD Jamie Taylor, and I know you're going to enjoy her. So let me get everything started for a screen share. Okay.
Hi, everybody. My name is National Sales Director Jamie Taylor, and I know that I'm hanging out with some incredible trailblazing beauty consultants today. So welcome to another episode of our Boss Babe series featuring trailblazers and how you can be a trailblazer in your Mary Kay business and in your life. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to be with you guys, and I'm excited to get to know you a little bit better. So if you don't know me, I already told you my name is Jamie, and I already told you I'm a national sales director. But a couple of fun facts. I am actually currently the youngest national sales director in North America, which is fun. That was a goal that I had a long time ago, and I ended up reaching that, which is really cool. But position available. If you are younger than me and would love to become a national, you do it, girl. I would love that for you. But for now, I am our youngest, okay? So that's a fun fact about me. I started my Mary Kay business as a 20-year-old in college. It was 2012, so it was 12 years ago. And
finally, homemade Monjaro made my pants drop in just 1 week. I mixed these 4 ingredients that are 10 times more potent.
Yeah, I did not know that it was going to turn into all of this. After starting my business at the age of 20, I went on to, love it through college. I actually earned my first Mary Kay card in college and became a sales director the same week that I graduated and had finals my senior year of college. It was a busy week. I finished DIQ and then went to a final exam and then graduated. So fun stuff. Earned my card during that time, got out of college and decided to embrace my Mary Kay business full time. That wasn't the plan. The plan was to get a big girl grown up job. And I decided to embrace my Mary Kay business full time, and the rest is history. So after that, I earned my first pink Cadillac at the age of 22. I earned my first top sales director trip at 23, and I went on over the course of those next 6 years from earning my first top trip to become a national. I became a national at 29 years old. And oh my goodness, what an incredible journey. And I want to share with you a little bit about the journey. And I want to share with you a little bit today about what it means to be a trailblazer in your Mary Kay business. Now, listen, if I put myself in your shoes as a beauty consultant and somebody said, be a trailblazer, I would be like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I know you can look to your sales director or to national sales directors on these videos that you're getting to listen to and to think, do I have anything in common with her? I don't know. I remember that feeling so well. But in hindsight, when I look back on my first year that I was a beauty consultant, there were so many really cool, great trailblazing things that I was doing that I didn't quite see it at the time, and I can see it now. And so I want to help give you some ideas of what this could look like for you to step into not just being a follower, though I'm sure you're an excellent follower of your leader. I mean, hey, you're participating in our Boss Babe series. You're showing up. I know that about you. I know that even though I might not know exactly who I'm talking to right now, I know that if you're watching this video and here we are at the beginning of the year, that you're somebody who has goals, you want to make changes, you're showing up, you're hungry to learn, and you're open to the possibility of more, right? I know that must be true about you, right? So I was saying, I'm sure you are a great follower. I'm sure you are. But being a trailblazer looks like stepping out of just being a follower and stepping into being a creator, taking an active role in creating the future that you want with your Mary Kay business and how your Mary Kay business can support what you want for your future and dreams that you have. And really just, like I said, taking an active role in that and not just waiting for your leader or a trainer or somebody or the company to tell you what to do. We get to glean wisdom from those people, but the time comes, and for all of us, where it's time to take the baton and it's our turn to run. It's our turn to create. It's our turn to lead. And I want you to know, no matter how long you've been in your Mary Kay business, whether you just started, you're not too early. You're not too young. You're not too inexperienced. You can start leading here, right where you are. Or maybe you've been building your Mary Kay business for a long, long time. It's not too late. It's not too late. We're each on our own journey, right? And, when we think about trailblazers and blazing a trail, it makes me think of the opposite of that, which would be a well-worn path, right? So let's explore the differences in the characteristics of a well-worn path and a trailblazer, or a blazed trail, I should say. So a well-worn path, that's going to be something that somebody has figured out for us, right? Maybe a well-worn path that's coming to your mind, like a hiking trail that you love or whatever. Maybe it's something that, it has just been worn down through years and years and thousands of people taking that path so that it's worn for you. You can tell this is the way to go. Somebody else has figured it out. Or maybe it's even like a paved trail. But either way, in these scenarios, the obstacles have been figured out for us. Somebody has already done the navigating for us and they have decided this is the path of least resistance. This is how we're going to go. Hey, that's great. We need those, right? We love and appreciate those well-worn paths, both literally in the physical world, but also in our Mary Kay businesses. There are things that people have just gone before us. They've figured it out for us. This works. So we love that. Okay. We love that. But, there's this part of it that you just kind of follow where the path leads. You'll end up where it ends up. And it's all been kind of figured out for you. But when you're blazing a trail, well, you're navigating the whole thing. You're overcoming obstacles as they're coming at you. And you're trying to decide, okay, am I going to keep moving forward? And how could I go over, under, or around this obstacle? What would be my best plan? And you take an active role in how this journey turns out, but also you're going to make decisions based on where you want to go. If you're blazing a trail, it's because you're trying to get somewhere. So where are you trying to get? And what is going to be the best way for you to get there? Because sometimes well-worn paths, while they are convenient, safe, and easy, are they going to take you to the destination that you want? So the question is, what do you want with your Mary Kay business? What kind of income are you wanting to generate? Where do you want to end up on the career path? What's your wildest Mary Kay dream? Dream as big as you can. Where are you trying to get? Because there are times where we follow the path of things that have been taught to us. And there are times where it's time to lead and go create what we need to create. Okay. So I know this is all kind of abstract. So let me bring it back down to my Mary Kay business. So I told you guys I started in college, and honestly, starting my Mary Kay business was one of the first times I blazed a trail in my Mary Kay business. I don't know if you can relate, but it took an insane amount of courage for me to just say yes to Mary Kay and to order my starter kit. Can anybody relate? That in and of itself was the first time that I was kind of veering off of the regular path of, here I was 20 years old and in college. Of course, I went on to get my degree, but I was on this path. I was looking for part-time jobs. I was looking for, just the regular things that college students do to make extra money. And when Mary Kay came along, this was the first time that I was like, this is a little outside of the box, and it scares me.
Did you know that Amazon has a $50 million fund that they have to pay out every month? And here's how
I'm uncomfortable thinking about putting myself out there, opening myself up to rejection, being embarrassed perhaps. Saying yes to Mary Kay was the first time I started. It wasn't just that I started my business, I started my trail. And I took a step onto this journey that I didn't exactly know how it was going to turn out. And I knew there'd probably be some obstacles and it might be a little bumpy here or there, but what if it turned out better than I could even imagine? Can anybody relate? I am here to tell you, as your Mary Kay big sister, who's maybe further down her journey than you, it gets really good. So be sure to keep traveling down that path. So congratulations to you for starting your Mary Kay business. But not long after I started my business, I told you I was in college. And a fun fact about my college was it was a Christian university. So we didn't have Greek life. There was not like a party culture or anything like that. And I loved my school experience. But I was booking and really trying to build my business and get in front of people. And I was doing faces and stuff like that. And booking always felt challenging to me. And I look back, I'm really proud of myself for just doing it anyways, because it always scared me to talk to girls on campus and ask them to be a face model. And it was hard for me, but I did it. And I look back and I'm really proud. But a time that I blazed a trail, and this is a small example, but it showed you the way I was thinking. I thought to myself, if somebody were to try to book me, would I say yes to this? Like, these scripts that we get, scripts are great. They're a great place to start. But this was a time where, yes, I was following well. I was a good student of Mary Kay. I would take in the information, but this was a time based on, I was the youngest person in my unit. I was the only college student in my unit. And this was the time that I kind of veered off and blazed a trail and thought, okay, I know all these concepts based on what I'm learning from my Mary Kay mentors, but is there a tweak I can make that would help me to get more yeses? What could help me get more yeses? Because maybe this script in theory works, but will it work really well for my demographic and for the women that I'm trying to book? And so this was a question I asked myself, well, would I say yes to this? Would I book with me, right? Have you ever asked yourself that? Would I book with me? Go pull up the last few booking messages that you sent, or reflect on the last time you did try to book somebody on the phone, in person, or through messaging them. Go back and read it. Would you be really honest with yourself? Would you be like, yeah, I would book? That sounds amazing. If the answer is, I don't know that I would book, but I'm sending out my messages. Okay, this is time where you could potentially blaze a trail and go into that creative mode. So I thought to myself, what would I absolutely say yes to? 100%. I would say yes. I just told you a little bit about my college's culture. And I thought, wouldn't it be so great to have a space where we would have an excuse to get dressed up? Because we didn't really have that with our lack of parties and our lack of Greek life. And so I was like, man, if I could come up with some kind of really fun mixer, social gathering, a fun event that I hadn't seen modeled for me anywhere else. I just, bookings and parties and facials. But I was like, could I come up with an event that somebody would say yes to. If I were to ask them, they'd be like, that sounds fun. And so I created a little black dress event, and I invited girls. It gave me so much confidence to literally say to them in class, hey, I'm having this event Friday night. Will you please come? And it gave me confidence to ask them like that. And they said, oh, that sounds like so much fun. I mean, I made little invite flyers. I had a whole theme, everybody. So I was meeting a need. The girls on my campus, they were like, a reason to like get dressed up and like wear a cocktail dress, I'm in. We didn't have things like that. And so I created it. I created something that didn't exist on our campus, and I created something that my Mary Kay sisters weren't necessarily doing. They didn't have to do it, but I did it. And I had a huge event, huge, like dozens of girls come out. I sold a bunch. I added new team members. It was outside of my comfort zone, and I felt in over my head when they were all coming into that event in their little black dresses. And here I was, barely a red jacket, pulling off this event. I felt out of my scope. But I look back, I'm so proud of myself that I had the guts to try something new and to say, would I say yes to this? And the answer was yeah. If somebody tried to book me for this, I would go. And so it intimidated me and it felt too big for me, but I did it anyways. And it wasn't perfect. I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure I messed things up. But that's where my head was at.
I have to poop, but it feels stuck.
Stop! Are you trying to kill us?
When was the last time that you put yourself out there? Maybe put yourself in a place that you're like, I don't feel ready for this. That's what blazing a trail feels like sometimes, but it can take you to where you want to go. I want to share another one with you. I told you I joined in 2012 and I was 20 years old. I just so happened to join Mary Kay at a time in our world's history, and also my age, was this perfect intersection of the very beginning of social media. So like the year that I joined Mary Kay, I had just gotten my first smartphone. I had downloaded the Instagram app. I had Instagram well before Mary Kay Cosmetics had their own Instagram account. Very few people were on the app when I got it. And so when I started Mary Kay, it was also the time that social media was blooming in the way it was. And for the first time ever, it was in the palm of our hands all the time. Because up to that point, I would only check my social media platforms like on my laptop or when I got home from school, right? Or home from classes. But I was like 6 months into having a smartphone for the first time ever. We were so much more connected than we had ever been. And this was when I started my Mary Kay business. And I started to experiment showing up in my Mary Kay business on social media, on Instagram. And I was trying all kinds of things and sharing authentically my Mary Kay journey. And if you ever want to pull up my Instagram and scroll back 12 years, by all means, go for it. And you can see where I was just trying. I was just showing up. And nobody was modeling it for me, you guys. Nobody was modeling it for me. I did not have a single Mary Kay person to follow on Instagram. I was the Mary Kay girl. And I tried things. And it was awkward. And I got things, and and then the social media guidelines came out years later, and I adjusted. And it's so funny because in a way, I was a trailblazer when it came to using our Mary Kay business with social media. And what's so cool is that now there's so many of you out there, you're better at it than me. You are better than me, okay? But I had the guts to get started 12 years ago when I didn't have anybody to copy, right? What is it for you? What is it for you? What's the little thing inside of you that you're like, I feel like I could do this, but like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who to copy. You should try it. I don't know what it is, but that was an example for me. Another one was I was a sales director, and my husband and I decided to move to Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. And I was moving away from the city and state where I built my entire Mary Kay business, my offspring sales directors, and I was moving to a whole new land, okay, with 0 team members, 0 leads, okay? And you want to talk about intimidated. You want to talk about uncomfortable. Yeah, even with the pink car, even with offspring back home and a big old team back home, to start over like that. This was a time that I implemented the concepts of a well-worn path, knowing what works for lead generating, booking, sharing, networking, but also the aspect of trailblazing and just starting again, starting fresh, starting new with no leads, with nothing except for the concepts that I had learned from those well-worn paths. And that was the time that I just embraced the activity that was uncomfortable for me. The amount of warm chatting I had to do. It's not my favorite way to lead generate, but when you don't know a single person in town, you start to do it. And to watch something grow from nothing to a couple of leads, to a couple of bookings, to a small customer base, to a team member, to more customers, to more team members, to offspring sales directors, to a national area. It started with some guts. It started with some courage to implement what I had learned and to embrace being a beginner again. Okay. And so what I want you to know is when it comes to being a trailblazer, as a beauty consultant, as a leader that you're stepping into, if no courage is involved, I don't think you're doing it right. Okay. I want you to know if you're ever feeling in your Mary Kay business a little uncomfortable, okay, you're feeling a little squeezed, you're feeling like, I don't want to do this. This is scaring me. I want you to know that whatever those things are, you're doing something right. Because I could go back and look at all the events or the vendor shows or the warm chatting, the restaurant appreciations, the asking for referrals, the you name it, the things I did that felt uncomfortable. But what propelled me, my friends? What made me sit in that discomfort of doing things that I didn't love doing, that didn't feel like they came very naturally? Well, it's back to what I was saying. When you're blazing a trail, you got to know where you're going. Okay. And that is what propelled me. As a beauty consultant, as a sales director, and now as a national sales director, what's your true north? Where are you trying to go? And I focused and I marinated on where do I want to go? And that gave me the courage to just take the next step, to overcome the obstacle in front of me, to work on what was next, because I knew where I was going. My friends, if I didn't know where I was going, why would my feet have ever moved? Why would I have ever gotten comfortable? Uncomfortable, I mean. Why would I have? If I didn't have a dream big enough, why would I? So my question to you is, do you have a dream big enough to propel you into trailblazing? Because if not, you might want to take the notes that you took from today and push them off to the side for just a second. You're going to need to know where you're going. And hey, it's not set in stone. The path might change and wind as you go, but what's your next best step? And what's something you could do right now that would be new, that would take some courage, that would make you uncomfortable, but you know, based on the wisdom and the training that you've received up to this point, it would probably be good for you if you embraced it. That's what I want to empower you to do today. So it's time for us to get into our discussion time. Thank you so much for your time. I am so proud of you for showing up to these, and I'm just praying over all of you. The 2025 is your trailblazing year in your Mary Kay business, in your life, in your finances, in just whatever God has on your heart, a place in your life where you want to grow and go to the next level. It will take traveling to the next level. It will take getting on your way and getting on the right path. And sometimes, my friends, you got to make that path yourself. So I'm cheering you on. I love you guys, and I will see you at seminar. Bye, guys.
Okay, Linda.
Yes. Wow. I assume everyone has lots of notes because I sure do. And that was the second time I've listened to it today, and it just is powerful. So I just want to check and see, does anyone have anything they want to share that just really stood out to them or knocked you in the head?
Lisa.
Yes, I loved when she said, "Would I book with me?" That was huge, because really that's a great question to ask yourself, just to reflect on how you're presenting. And then also that, courage has to be involved for you to have growth and for you to blaze a trail and get somewhere. And sometimes you have to make that path and put on that creative, create something new, create something that will work.
Good. And one thing she said with the courage, if no courage is involved, you may not be doing it right. If we're staying in our little safety zone on our well-worn path, which there's nothing wrong with a well-worn path, but if you are just moving along and don't feel a little twinge of, this makes me nervous, I'm stepping out, and you do want to have something different happen. We need to remember when we stay on the well-worn path, if we keep doing the same thing always happens. And sometimes we're at the point where maybe we want something different to happen. Anybody else have anything? Jenny Elkins?
I felt like she was talking directly to me. But know where you are going. And we've talked about this in some of the past too, is your goals and things like that. But know where you're going, know where you want to be financially. That is huge for me right now, being Mary Kay full time. So I was like, okay, take the twist, do the turns, do it all, and get on the right path. So that well-worn path, like you said, is great, but get on that path that's for you, that's going to take you where you need to go, and go through those obstacles as you need to do it. So know where you are going.
And that was important enough there at the end. She said, if you don't know where you're going, push aside the notes you've just taken and stop and think about where it is you want to go. In other words, sometimes we can just really be into this idea, that idea. These are the things I need to do. But are they taking you where you know you want to go? You have to know where you want to go. You can't shoot an arrow and hit the bullseye if you don't even know where the target is. And I thought that was powerful to say, stop with the notes, stop with the training, think where you want to go. And I always say, that doesn't have to take a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You can have some focused time, because we don't want to get caught up with thinking about something so long we forget to act. Anybody else? And Donna, I have trouble seeing people's hands, so you need to
Somebody
help me find
raises their
them.
hand, I will. Or just unmute yourself and start talking if we don't see you. Okay.
A couple of things as we finish up here, stepping out of being a follower and stepping into being a creator, and what you want to make happen. What do you want to create for your life? And there's nothing wrong with being a follower if that's where you want to be. But if you want something different for your life, nobody can create that except yourself. You have to take that active role she was talking about to do that. So, anybody else have any last minute thoughts? Okay, we'll go into the closing. And the final Bible verse for this time is Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's a little scary to have faith in something we can't see, isn't it? And that's the way it is in our business, as well as many other parts of our life. We have to step out in that faith. Fear is meant to stop us. Faith is meant to launch us. I will not ponder on my fears. Instead, I will illuminate my faith. So, where are you spending more of your time? Thinking about your fears or thinking about what you have faith in to make happen? And finally, we want to share something from a post from Stacy James. She's National Sales Director, just recently retired. To me, one of the most powerful speakers I've ever had the opportunity to listen to through the many years in Mary Kay. And she said, my most favorite person to quote once said, you can go as far as your mind will let you go. She followed that with the reminder that there are three kinds of people in this world: those who make things happen, those who wait for things to happen, and those who say, "What happened?" I can actually hear her voice and see her standing at the podium as I first heard her share those words. And if any of you have been in Mary Kay very long, you have heard that speech where she said, I wonder what happened. I can visualize her saying that. Thank you, Mary Kay, for finding me, Stacey James, all those years ago and opening a door to a heart that wanted a new reality, to live out my dreams, help other women to do the same, and to remember that dreams never dry up or drift away. Only our belief in them does. God's assignment for our lives is unceasing and never ending. I, for one, don't ever want to wake up and say, what happened? So, are you seeing your dream? Are you believing in it? Or are you letting it dry up and drift away? There's plenty of time. Like Jamie said, if you're new, you're not too young to get things going. If you've been building your Mary Kay business a long time, it does not matter. You can make huge things happen. You can make it all happen that you've ever wanted starting today. So I hope this has been a super powerful time for you to see your new vision, to think about where it is that you are going. Because as your sales directors, every one of us look at you and believe you can do it all. We believe in you. And so if you ever wonder, what am I doing? Check in with your director. Probably one of the biggest challenges we have as directors is we believe in you, but sometimes you don't grab it and believe in yourself and take the action and become the creator that you were made to be. So unless any of the other directors have anything else, we thank you for being on. Hope those of you who are going to join us next week are ready to move right into something else. Donna, anything else?
Nope. Just can't wait to see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Donna, and all the directors.
You're welcome.